also a comeback player of the year. All right, so you signed the deal. So before you sign your 10-year contract, you had an agent. And generally, you're not supposed to sign 10-year contracts because you want to keep coming out to the market and be a free agent and stuff.
Yeah.
So give me, why did you sign a 10-year contract?
I signed my 10-year contract because I basically wanted to be locked in to the Atlanta Falcons franchise. I think it showed me that they was committed to me, and then in return they get the commitment, from the other side. And I was going to do everything in my power to make sure that I didn't let the organization down. That I did everything in my power would do everything in my power to bring a championship to the city of Atlanta. And it showed the proper marriage and the perfect marriage. And I was ecstatic at the time. I felt the expectation, I felt the pressure, but it was a good pressure, and I wanted it, and I wanted that commitment. And then once I got it, I knew it was on right then and there. I knew what needed to be done. I needed to work harder. I needed to be a better leader. And, we had 10 years to chase a championship, and that's all I ever wanted. A shame that I didn't get there, but it showed what a 10-year contract can do on both sides.
Did it take any weight off your shoulders?
It took weight off my shoulders because I always say being labeled a bust is something that I never wanted to be in the National Football League. I always wanted to show that I was worthy of being the number one pick. And, once I got the contract and I knew it was going to be hard getting there, my agent and I talked about it all the time. I just felt like I had to keep my head down and keep pushing. And don't take your foot off the gas. Do everything in your power to get to that second deal. They'll show you that they're committed to you through and through, all throughout. And you give the same in return. And that's all I ever wanted. And once I got it, the expectations grew. I felt the pressure mounted, from the media and throughout all sources. But I managed to, make things happen. It wasn't the prettiest, and it was about to get to a point where we was going to have to make a decision somewhere within that contract. But just all in all, to be able to have a 10-year tenure and know that that's where you're going to be, it's such a bit of comfort you would not understand.
Andy Reid with Mahomes. The thing I like about this deal, it's obviously a lot of money. I don't care if he got overpaid, underpaid. It's a lot of money. He's worth it. But the Andy Reid deal, this is the part I like. I know that Patrick is going to have a coach that's creative and that's going to push. And I think, Michael, I could argue if you would have had a coach that was perfectly aligned with your style, you would have had a different career. Talk to me. Andy. You played for Andy. What Andy will force Mahomes to do and how they'll work together.
Well, Andy's going to force Patrick to continue to learn, to continue to get better as a quarterback, to continue to mature as a leader, which we all know he can. I think Andy knows that, and that's why they made the commitment for 10 years. On top of that, he'll continue to throw different ideas at him, different concepts. Andy texted me like 2 weeks ago and sent me a video of a play, and it was a little back and forth. Do you remember the play? We bet $1 on it. And the play was a very interesting play, and I was able to recollect and understand that play. And that's just another completion for Patrick this season. Andy's sitting around, he's cooking up more plays. He's pulling things from 2011 and 2012 and all easy concepts and things that I know Patrick can handle. So this deal right here is a match made in heaven. Andy did it with Donovan in 2002, gave him a 12-year deal. That's because he knew what he had and he knew where he wanted to go in the future. And, 2003, 2004, NFC championship games and Super Bowls. And, that's just what this is going to be. It's history repeating itself for Andy. And he got the right guy. Donovan was the guy at the time. Patrick is the guy now.
How successful does Patrick have to be? I mean, do you feel like he's got to win 2-3 Super Bowls to justify the deal and the hundreds of millions?
No, it's all house money now, Colin. MVP in the second season, Super Bowl last year. What more can you ask for? Now you can just go out and not just wing it, because the one thing I know Patrick could do is continue to take the game serious. He's that type of guy. But now you plan to put the dynasty together, obviously, with this type of contract. things are going to happen contractually to bring in other guys and make room for free agents, because everybody's going to want to go to Kansas City now. The top receivers know they're going to get the ball, and some of, the mediocre receivers can become better. So this is going to be a place where they're going to win for a long time. Obviously Patrick don't play on both sides of the ball. So, when you're talking dynasty, it has to come on both sides, all three phases, so to speak. But this guy's going to do his job, and everybody else, if they come along with him, we talking, at least 2 or 3 more Super Bowls, at least, easy.
Yeah, Mike, when you got your money, and it's just the way the world works. It would be great when you sign big contracts that everybody would be happy for you, but there is resentment. Some people are just jealous. They're born envious. And when you signed your big contract, did you ever feel like not everybody was happy for you and there was a little animosity?
Yeah.
You felt that?
I felt that, Colin. It's a real thing. I mean, it's envy that comes from all different places and places you would not believe. And, the only thing you can do is keep your head down and do your job and continue to lead by example. That's all I did. I felt that energy. It was negative. It was all around me, and not from everyone. But it's going to happen. And what Patrick can do in this situation is continue to show that he's worthy of every dime that he's going to make in that contract, because he's going to make a lot of money in that contract. A lot of it may be dead money, but some of that money he will get to. So he got to just enjoy the ride, bring all the people along with him that wants to be there, and he'll feel like he's a smart kid. He's a smart guy. I won't say kid. He's a smart man, and he'll understand what's at stake.
Yeah, I said Russell Wilson I'd give a 10-year contract to. I'd like to see Lamar Jackson win some playoff games. There's not a lot of 10-year deals in this league. Who else would you give a 10-year deal to?
I mean, depending on how Lamar Jackson does over the next, year or so, it's very possible.
Yeah.
The bar has been set, and I'm pretty sure him and his team is sitting back and looking at this, and they should be clapping and jumping for joy. A lot of the young guys should be. Deshaun Watson has an opportunity, maybe if he go out and prove it in the next year or so. It might be there for him, but like I said, the standard has been set, the bar has been set. Sky's the limit. If your organization is committed to you, and yes, Patrick is ahead of the curve because he's accomplished what we all want to accomplish, and that's the Super Bowl, then it's there for him. So I would say, as of right now, Lamar and D-Watt got a great chance at achieving that. It all remains to be seen.
By the way, $450 million. So when you got your 10-year contract and you go to your bank account and you look at your ATM and it reads all that money, I mean, it's hard not to want to go out and spend some of it, right? Like
splurge a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I expect Patrick to have the finer things in life, and he deserves it. He already hosted the trophy. You got to go out. You got to live up to that too, but do it in a smart way, and he got more than enough money. But the one thing I will say is I'm so excited to watch him continue to work over the years. And I text Andy last night, and I said 10 more years of Patrick means 10 more years of Andy. And he just laughed it off. But, it's going to be fun to watch, man. And, I'm so happy for Andy. And after watching Patrick for years and years, especially in college, and then having a chance to be with him in training camp and, seeing how far he's come, he's accomplished so much. And they did it together. And that's what matters. They did it all together. And, I know people who were in the building, who was in the building in Philadelphia, and, they deserve every minute of it. They're all getting the fruits of the labor of how hard they work. Everyone.
It's funny. I was just thinking about this, Michael. It's funny how life works. Forever, Andy Reid was getting criticized, and he was always taking these good quarterbacks and making them really good. It's almost like if there's a man upstairs that said, you know what, I'm going to finally give you the greatest quarterback. And it's almost like Andy Reid for years took like guys who were good but could be flawed, and he kept, and everybody was like, Andy doesn't win the big game, and Andy can't do this. It's almost like the football god said, okay, we tortured you for a lot of years. We're going to give you the greatest quarterback of all time. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm happier for Mahomes or Reid. Like I almost feel like they were meant for each other, right?
Yeah, and absolutely. Andy's such a great guy, and you just love him genuinely from the bottom of your heart. Like, he's got angels in heaven, and he did this. Andy created this. Andy did his due diligence on Patrick Mahomes when he was in college. He, had Alex Smith, and it worked out. Alex was great for Patrick. Andy knew what he was getting in Patrick and how he was going to bring him along, and he picked the right guy. Everybody had a chance to scout this guy, and not to take anything away from anyone. You go out and get who you need, and Andy needed a quarterback for the future, and he made this decision. He made this work, and that's why you see the Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid relationship growing and developing, and it's going to be beautiful over the next couple of years.
All right, keep playing bring your clubs to L.A. I'll get us on a course next time you're in town, man. I've taken this.
Wait.
Yeah, I'll have to cross my fingers and practice more. Good seeing you, Michael.
No doubt. Good seeing you, Colin.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.